Hey, everybody. This is Captain Yeet here with you for another Danny Phantom episode review. This is going to be Danny Phantom Season 1, Episode 17, titled Maternal Instincts. So, let's get into it. So, this episode starts off with Danny, Tucker, and Sam inside the garage, and they're just testing out Danny's ghost powers to see how good he is. He's flying around, they mock his speed. He's actually going at 120, no, sorry, 112 per hour. That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's pretty quick for just a human to go. That's pretty fast. He's turning intangible, going through things, using his ghost rays to shoot stuff, just testing out all of his powers. And then eventually, Danny gets a bit too cocky and he slams right into a wall. And Danny gets really mad at Tucker because while Danny was testing out his powers, he didn't make fun of Tucker because he practiced his takeover ability. So he goes inside of Tucker and makes fun of him. And then when Danny slams into the wall, Danny makes fun of Tucker. Tucker and Danny gets mad, turns the floor intangible, and make Tucker falls through it. And I'm like, what is this? There's nothing under them, right? They're in the lowest point of the house, so it's not like they're upstairs and fall through downstairs. So Tucker probably went underground. That's not good, especially since he's not gonna stay intangible while he's in the ground. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's probably just for like a quick little joke, but not too good. I didn't know Danny could do that, which is really cool because when he touches the ground, he turns into like a green glow and make Tucker go under. So I'm like, huh, I don't think I've ever seen Danny do that before. From before now, and maybe he does it maybe after now. I can't remember because it's been so many years since I watched Danny Phantom. But from what I don't remember ever him doing anything like that. That was kind of weird, but cool at the same time. Anyway, after that, we get the theme song. After the theme song, we see Maddie, Danny's mom, looking at a picture of her and Danny from back in the day. And she's just really sad because, well, back then, her and Danny used to be like best friends, doing everything together. And now that Danny's getting older, they don't really hang out as much. He's with his friends, he doesn't want to hang out with his mom. And she's feeling kind of sad about it. Jack is trying to console her a little bit, but not in the best way because, it's Jack. But, he's trying his best while he's also playing with like these two little action figures. While they're talking, they get a ring at the door, and it's a ghost giving Jack some mail. And I'm like, this isn't even like like a Johnny situation, like Johnny 13, where you can kind of obviously we know he's a ghost, but from like somebody random, he doesn't really look too ghost like unless he starts flying around and stuff. This guy looks like a ghost. He literally has no legs. He's doing that thing Danny does when it's like his legs turn to like that mermaid tail. He had like that mermaid tail floating with green skin. Like this look like a ghost. And Jack he just takes the mail. He goes, "Hey man, like a tip." He gives him like a quarter, and the quarter goes right through his hand. And he goes, "Hey, you look kind of pale." He puts some sunscreen on. What? Come on, Jack. I mean, I know people call you dumb. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't know why he didn't think this was a ghost at the time. But anyway, Jack gives the mail to Maddie because it has her name on it. It was just so funny because Jack goes, "Hey, Maddie, you're invited somewhere. I noticed because on the mail it says invited." Anyway, basically, it's this signed Septorum thing that Maddie and Danny has been invited to for like the weekend, and she's really excited because well, she was just complaining how she doesn't spend any time with Danny. Now she can. We cut downstairs to where Danny's still practicing his powers. Specifically, he's trying to practice the thing that Vlad did when they first met and when they first fought. Vlad was able to duplicate himself into like multiple different bodies. Danny's trying to do that here, but it's very, very strainful. The most he can do is just make another head on his shoulders. Obviously, Vlad can make like 4 copies of him at once, so he needs to start practicing. That's what this whole weekend is going to be about, at least to him. He wants to practice drills and training. No family, no homework, no excuses. And then obviously Maddie comes downstairs with the whole science ship torn thing going out for the weekend. And messed up his plans a lot. Not too good right there. Anyway, right after that, not Maddie, Jazz. She telling Danny to be grateful. At least you're going out somewhere to Florida for the science thing. I have to stay home with Dad. That's not gonna be too fun. So she's kind of sad. Jack gives Maddie this belt that can repel ghosts when you turn it on. And Jack said, not Jack. Maddie says thank you, and then she also tells Jack not to mess up the house while she's gone. And Jack goes, "Here we go." You suck the house into an alternate dimension one time and you can't let it go. I'm like, I kind of want to see that episode. That's kind of wild. The only alternate dimension that we know of in this universe, besides from like, I guess like the Nicktoon games, but I don't think they ever reference those in the show. But the only alternate universe in this show is the Ghost Zone, right? So unless it's just a throwaway line, which is probably just for like a little joke, but I thought that was kind of funny. You sucked the whole house into a parallel dimension and got it back. I mean, that's kind of impressive. But Maggie's like, please don't do it again. Anyway, Maddie and Danny they go on a plane. Well, actually, yeah, it's kind of wild. I mean, obviously we know it's fake and everything, but the company is called like Dale, I think, or Dale something like that, and it gave them a private jet to go to the science of Torm thing in Florida. That's kind of wild. I don't even know why Maddie would even accept this. I mean, obviously she's glad to do this just with Danny for some alone time, so she can spend some time with her son. But at the same time, they didn't sign up for this. They don't know anybody in with this company, so why would you? Like if some random thing came to your house, like, hey, you can go somewhere. I never signed up for this. We don't know anybody in the company. We never called or asked. Like this is so random and weird that they want us to. You're like, no, I'm not. That's kind of suspicious, And Maddie, I mean, Jack and her are both smart and make this stuff, but still, Maddie's supposed to be the more smarter one, and she still went on this. I guess her just desires to hang out with her son just went like made this like reasoning went over her head. But this is very suspicious. Anyway, while they're hanging out inside the jet talking, the pilot he goes, if you look out your left, you can see the Rocky Mountains. Danny's like, what the? That's not near Florida. Why are we going towards the Rocky Mountains? And he goes, now if you look out to your right, you can see me jumping out the plane before it crashes. They look out the window, and yeah, the pilot just jumps out and goes, "See ya," or sorry, "See ya." Maddie jumps over to the pilot, like the steering wheel and everything, but it's jammed. She can't do anything. So what are they gonna do? Danny goes to touch Maddie and to touch the plane so it can go intangible, but Maddie has that belt on, so it shocks him and throws him backwards. So Maddie goes, "What are you doing? Get the parachute." So they get the parachutes, jump out, and the ghost that gave Jack the mail was the ghost that was flying the plane. He looked like a normal dude, and then he shapeshifts back into like regular format we saw him like a few minutes ago, and he flies back into the plane. I'm like, oh, I didn't know ghosts could sort of shapeshift. I mean, I guess every ghost have certain powers. So I guess he could shapeshift, but I don't think we ever seen Danny like shapeshift into his mom or something. He has to like possess her to look like his mom. So I thought that was kind of cool. He was able to shapeshift like that. They fall to the ground and they're in like a forest. And Maddie pulls out a Fenton machete and it's a cut to the grass. Obviously, Danny's panicking because they're in the middle of nowhere. They need help. How about you pull out a Fenton phone? I thought that joke was kind of funny. And call somebody. Maddie goes, a phone camp. Like, ghost? That's why I keep this machete in my pocket. Danny's like, you gotta be kidding me. We need to find some way to get home or to call dad or something. Like, this is ridiculous. And while they're walking around, they run into Vlad. He's like on a golf cart and they see like he little. Well, at first they find like this little hut and then Vlad rolls up in like a little golf cart. Yeah, golf cart. And he goes, oh, Maddie, Daniel, how are you doing? "Oh, such a surprise to see you right outside of my hut. Here's a gift basket with your names on it already. And he goes, you're up to something. Nothing of the sort. And he has a watch on. He goes, okay, Maddie's at the house. Kill Jack. Maddie's like, what did you say? He goes, oh, flapjacks. I got pancakes inside. Come on, let's go. And I'm like, wow. That's many cartoons say that. A lot of cartoons they won't say he died. They won't say death. They won't say kill or killed. Like like those are like four things most cartoons would never do. Well, not that they won't do it. They won't say it outright. They'd be like, "Yo, what happened to Jim? Jim, he," and just look away, like something like that. Like they never say died or death or killed. He just says it outright. I mean, there's other cartoons I've seen that say that, but most of the time they don't. So when that cartoon does do it, I always go, oh, "Okay, yeah, they actually did it. They actually said the word. All right." So we cut back over to uh Jazz and Jack. Hope that doesn't confuse me. We come back over to Jazz and Jack, and yes, he already did. Jack wants to show Jazz a new thing he made called the Fenton Nine Tails. It shoots out this rope with nine little claws on it, wraps around a ghost, and electrocutes it. Obviously, Jazz doesn't want anything to do with ghost hunting, so she starts to walk away and she wants to go outside. And as soon as she opens the door, this huge ghost rabbit attacks her. But obviously, Jack jumps in and electrocutes her with the nine tails. And she goes, "Wow, you saved me." He goes, "Of course I did. Princess and my daughter. And let's put this house on lockdown." And it's so funny because he tells the ghost to back up for my daughter. She's a minor, and obviously that means someone that's not 18. But as a kid, I had no idea what that meant. There have been multiple videos I watched or cartoons where they would say he or she's a minor, and in my mind I was thinking, what does that mean? I kept thinking like a minor in the mines. I'm like, that doesn't make sense because pretending on I mean not pretending, pret- not wait, what's the word I'm looking for? Um the specific character for whatever I was watching, I was like, that character doesn't work in the mines or anything like that. So what does that mean? Actually now, which that sounds so stupid. That used to be so funny to me. I'm like, what does that mean? Like I never understood that joke as a kid. But we cut away from that. We go back over to Danny and Maddie. So Maddie, she's looking through some books about ghost hunting, and she's just like oblivious to how convenient it was for them to land right outside of Vlad's hut after they got ejected out of a plane. Like she doesn't see the convenience, but Danny does because he knows how Vlad is. He set this whole thing up. So Maddie and Vlad are talking, and while they're talking, he will like throw some jabs at Jack, calling him dumb or calling him an idiot. And he also said that he wants to apologize for his behavior the last time they saw him at that college party. So I'm like, why would you apologize for Jack? That doesn't make and like that would make sense if that's like his son or something, but no. So I don't know why he said that. Probably Danny brings up, hey, isn't that wasn't Dad possessed by a lonely, uh, a lonely, stupid, ugly, single ghost? And he gets mad and shoots a ghost ray at him. In his human form, actually. He's in his human form and he shoots a ghost ray at Danny. He also shoots a ghost ray out of his eyes like Cyclops. I didn't know you can do that. And it just makes it more like astonishing because, well, he's in his regular form and he's shooting ghost rays, which is kind of wild. I mean, we have seen a few times when Danny gets mad. It doesn't even happen in this episode. When he gets mad, his eyes glow green, so like his ghost form is coming out a little bit. But I can't remember a point. Well, I guess in the first episode, his powers were kind of messing up, and even in his regular form, he went intangible. I guess there are moments you can do that thing. Okay, I didn't realize. Uh, anyway, while they're talking, Vlad he lets it slip that he's mad at Jack for stealing Maddie away, and obviously Maddie was like, "Whoa, what? What did you just say?" He goes, "Well, he stole you away from me. You know what? I can't deny it anymore. Maddie, would you leave that bum Jack and stay with me, even Daniel too, right?" And obviously she walks out. Somebody gets a woman. You all need to get a woman like Maddie. She did not want to hear anything about obviously disrespecting her husband, number one. Number two, asking her to leave her husband and to date him or marry him. Like no, like you know, just put it in my face. She went outside of her son. She'd rather stay outside in the woods than be inside of a house with a dude that does that. That's 10 toes, baby. You need someone like Maddie. So she walks out, and then he makes fun of him, saying, "You probably should get a cat since you're around 40 and you're single." So obviously, Vlad he gets very mad. And one thing I just realized is obviously Vlad wants to get with Maddie and have the kids with him too. But he should know Jazz is still in the house with Jack because he's sending. So when we cut back over to Jack and Jazz, there's more ghost animals like flying in and trying to attack him and trying to kill him, like he just said. So those are his ghost animals. So he assumed the house is empty. He's only Jack. So he just says send a barrage of animals until he dies. Okay, I understand that plan, but he didn't have the invitation say Jazz too, all both kids, just Danny. So Jazz is still to be up in there unless he thought she'll be out for some reason. So he's putting her in danger, which I don't think he would want to. Really confusing. Anyway, we cut back over to them, and Jack is fighting off some ghost birds, but eventually they swarm him and send him flying into a wall. So Jazz picks up the Fenton nine tails and kills both of the ghost birds. And Jack's like, wow, okay, I see you, honey. Like, okay, nice. And then we come back over to Danny and Maddie. So Maddie is obviously saying, this whole trip didn't go as planned, but hey, at least we're together. That's the main part. I just want to spend some time with you, and I love you, son. And she goes to hold his hand, but she has the belt on, and it shocks him, which is a little confusing because I could have sworn, I gotta look back, but I could have sworn they touched each other with the belt on in his human form, and it didn't do anything. Only when he went ghost, and then he touched her, it did something. But in this moment, he's in his human form, but it still shocks him. He goes, okay, okay, I'll be over here. She goes, I love you. And they go to sleep. Oh, no, no, no. My bad. I forgot to mention. They have sleeping bags. And I thought, like, obviously, why'd you pause it for a sleeping bag? This is the weird part. Maddie pulls out two pills and puts them on the ground, drops a tiny drop of water up there, and boom, two sleeping bags. That kind of technology is wild. I mean, these jokers are smart. That was nice. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That kind of technology is crazy. Anyway, a ghost bear pops up out of nowhere and stands over Danny. And Danny goes, either mom's legs are very hairy or I'm in some trouble. And then the ghost bear grabs him and brings Danny over to Vlad's place. And there's like a ton of ghost different animals. And Vlad says that these are his experiments. Kind of wild. He's like experimenting with animals and ghost animals. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it is Vlad. He can do whatever. So, I mean, not whatever, but it is Vlad. He is evil. But it's still kind of crazy you just experiment on animals and stuff. But anyway, he says these are his experiments. And obviously, Danny doesn't want to hear any of this. So he goes ghost and he's ready to fight. And then Vlad shocks him with this taser thing. And when he shocks him, he goes back into his human form. Then he's like, the heck was that? He goes, oh, this is, I call this what was it? The Vladis Maximus. I just like disrupted your ghost powers for about 3 hours. And I'm going to sick all these animals on you until midnight. So I see you later. Actually, I'll give you at least 5 minutes. And he runs out. And that's when he runs out. He goes, go get him. 5 minutes, 5 seconds. I'm bad at math. Oh, I keep getting ahead of myself. I hate when I do that. He made fun of Danny for being bad at math because he saw his grades and they're pretty bad. And then he goes, "Oh wait, I'm bad at math too." Oh, dang it! So obviously, Danny has no ghost powers and no ghost weapons, so he's running for his life. He's trying to get out of there. And while he's running away, he trips, and the ghost animals are trying to jump him. But then Maddie comes out of nowhere and like all like covered in mud, like being like a solid snake out here. And she goes out and fights all the ghost animals while Danny stays up in a tree and where he's safe. And Maddie, I mean, she is just laying down the law on all these animals. She's pulling out weapon after weapon, fighting these jokers. There was one little funny joke to where while she's like, she pulled out like this baton ghost weapon thing, and then he goes, "What the? There's no way she don't got a phone in there. Like, she got everything but a phone. This is ridiculous." But that was pretty cool. But probably the coolest kill had to be these two little ghost rabbits. She just looks at them, and she has like these goggles on her jumpsuit. She twists them and shoots out lasers like cool Cyclops. I don't think they were trying to reference Cyclops from X Men in this, but that's what I think. As soon as I see some sort of laser come on your eyes, I'm thinking Cyclops. That's the first thing I think of when I see it, and that happened twice in like 5, 10 minutes between each other. So I thought that was pretty funny. Look at this. He just twists them and lasers come out. Okay, that's kind of cool. After she beats all the ghost animals, she's a little mad at Danny because obviously she didn't know that the ghost animals took them to go see Vlad. She's just thinking Danny just walked off the camp. So she goes, "Okay, young man, tell me why." And then Danny goes, "Wow, man, you were amazing," and hugs her. She goes, "Oh, what? Oh, oh you thank you. It was nothing." Then we cut to like a little bit later, like an hour or two later off, and they're walking around, but Maddie is carrying Danny, which is so funny because I'm assuming, I mean, Danny's like halfway of Maddie, so he's a decently heavy. So she's carrying him like she was like he's a kid again, like easy, just you know what I mean? And Maddie doesn't have a black belt, so I guess he is pretty strong. But Danny goes, okay, that should be. I mean, we see. I think we got away from the monsters. So what are we gonna do? Maddie goes, well, I guess we're gonna have to go back to Vlad's. He goes, Vlad's. Oh, we go back there. He's a creep. Yes, he is a creep, but he has a phone and transportation. So we need to do something. And he has pancakes. I want to keep you safe. So here, where it is, he takes off her belt and puts it around Danny. Now his ghost powers are still messed up because remember it says 3 hours, but obviously when they turn back on, I mean after 3 hours, his ghost powers are gonna be activated again, and this is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad. So he needs a way to get this off. We cut over back to Jazz and Jack. Let's get them confused. And Jazz is wearing Maddie's jumpsuit, and she looks just like Maddie, to where even Jack thought it was Maddie. He walks in the room, he goes, Jazz, oh, Maddie, you're back. She goes, what? I'm Jazz, your daughter? Huh. I guess the only way you can kind of tell is Jazz is, well, the lipstick is different because Maddie has red and Jazz is like sort of pinkish right here. And well, obviously Jazz is shorter. She's a lot shorter than Maddie. So yeah, you can tell there. But it was kind of funny that Jack thought it was her. Jack starts crying. He goes, wow, you're such a spitting image of your mother. I knew this day would come when you want to be coming ghost hunting. So I made you this and he pulls out an orange jumpsuit. It looks exactly like his, but it's his size. He says that, oh, my bad for the size. I thought you'd be swimming in my end of the gene pool, so look, a lot bigger. but apparently you're with your mother. Yeah, it's like, no, 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 no. I do not want to be in ghost hunting. I'm just trying it out at least once because, you guys are such into it, and I just want to explore all my options with this whole ghost hunting thing. So I got to try it out at least once. Jack goes, I have no idea what you're saying. But hey, you're ghost hunting, so they have a problem with it. It's in your blood. She just keeps saying, no, I don't want to do that. But then, like, five ghosts pop up out of nowhere. And Jack goes, okay, enough talk. It's time for action. And they both standing next to each other side by side, ready to fight. I'm like, okay. Here we go. The dream team right here. I like this. Because we never, before now, and there was a few scenes with them talking and stuff, but not too many. Now they're like talking and fighting together, which is so sweet. They're having their own bonding time, and Jack and, not Jack, Maddie and Danny having their own bonding time too. So we cut back over to Danny and Maddie, and they're going to Vlad's mansion. Well, not his mansion, like the little hut, because this isn't his mansion. His mansion is somewhere else. Wisconsin, I think, right? Yeah, Wisconsin. Anyway, when they go back, before they walk in or knock on the door, Danny goes, wait, 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 Mom, I just want to say I love you, and hugs her and takes the key away so he can unlock the door before 3 hours is up. And it's 11:50, so 10 minutes before midnight, and that's the 3 hours midnight. So they knock on the door, and obviously Vlad answers, and he tries to taunt Danny a little bit about the 3 hours. And when they walk in, Maddie goes, Danny, go over to the side while the adults have a conversation, and puts on the eyes. And Vlad goes, whoa. That man was, I don't know why, but that was so funny. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, the eyes. She gives the eyes. And Vlad goes, whoa. Even he's shocked, like, whoa. What's going on? So they start talking, and Maddie's trying to butter up Vlad so they can find a phone or transportation. I think Vlad says something about making a mistake, and Maddie goes, "Oh, we all make mistakes. We're human. I might make one now." Looks at him. He starts to shoot some breath spray in his mouth, and she gets up. She goes, "I need to freshen up." And in my mind, I was like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to just like figure out to get a phone or something. Why are you even trying to hint at this?" And once he walks away, she tells Danny to keep him occupied while she looks for a phone. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So she's running around inside this hut looking for a phone somewhere. And Danny walks over to Vlad, and you gotta be kidding me. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Gotta go handle something. Anyway, when Maddie leaves, Danny tricks Vlad by saying he wants Vlad to be his dad, and Vlad starts crying. And they go in for a hug, but then Danny wraps around the belt and clicks it on his waist, and obviously he has ghost powers too, so it starts to shock him. Then they start to fight, and because he has the belt on, they start to mess up some of his powers, and it constantly keeps shocking him. So Danny is able to put the beat down on Vlad. At first, he wasn't able to at first, but the shocks really got to him and he was able to put the beat down on him. It's like hard. Eventually, having him on the ground, saying that he gives up, but he calls in his ghost animals. Danny's able to take the ghost animals and turn them around on Vlad because, well, Vlad's the one that killed them and put their corpses put their corpses on the walls on display. So there's no really real reason for them to be mad at Danny. They're like, yeah. So they start to chase after Vlad. Well, first they starting to look at him, and Danny goes, "I'll give you 5 minutes." Vlad's like, "Really? Minutes, seconds. You know I'm bad at math." So Vlad runs out with his ghost powers off because I forgot I keep forgetting stuff. Danny also zaps Vlad with the I forget the Vladimir Maximus, the thing that disrupts his ghost power for 3 hours. So he has the belt on plus that. So now he really can't use his powers, and he runs out the door while the animal chasing him. And while they were fighting, Maddie was going from room to room looking for a phone. And in one room, she finds like a Jeep and car. She goes, ah, not a phone. Another room, there was like two four-wheelers, not a phone. She goes outside, there's a whole helicopter. She goes, no phone. And when she comes back to Danny to tell him this, she goes, wait a second. I'm so stupid. And he's like, yeah, maybe we should take the helicopter. I mean, yeah, it's not a phone, but I think a car or a helicopter would be just good enough to get out of here. So they get into the helicopter and fly back home. Danny apologizes for being such a jerk this whole trip. Maddie tells Danny to tell Jack what happened this whole trip because, well, obviously he doesn't really want to hear about his best friend trying to hit on his wife. And well, they were fighting ghosts this whole trip, and he was probably at home doing nothing, as they know. So he doesn't really want him to get jealous. So that was really sweet. And then the exact same thing happens when we get back to the house. That Jazz and Jack are cleaning up the house because there's no more ghost attacks. And Jack's like, "Hey, don't tell your mother about any of this." And she goes, "Yeah, of course not." And here's what Jazz looks like with the suit on. We saw what she looks like with the helmet on. I mean, with the hoodie on. It looks just like Maddie, but if it's her, like without the helmet on, not the helmet, without the mask on, looking just like Maddie, basically, with just a little bit shorter. So Danny tells his mom that he loves her and kisses her on the cheek and goes upstairs to call Sam and Tucker. And then he asks Jack, "Hey, what were you doing this weekend?" The same old. Nothing new, nothing. Just another day. And then two ghost beavers run downstairs while Jazz is on top of them, strangling them. And then Jack's like, "Hey, what are you doing? It's my turn to kill them." So he runs outside with like a little fan thingy. And then he's like, "What the heck?" Okay. Then that's the end of the episode. Next episode, it was really sweet. I really like this episode. I remember this one too. I because I remember when I was going through season one before I started. I was like, I only remember a few of these, and even one of them. It was really sweet. I'm almost done with season one too, because there's 20 episodes in season one, and this is episode 17, so we got like not too much longer. And then season two, they got like two 40-minute episodes back to back, which is kind of why I think my new computer can handle that. Or I could just stream it so I don't have to worry about it cutting off on me because I don't know how long I can stream. I mean, on my old computer, every now and again, I could stream for like 30 to 40 minutes. So I think this new computer could do that too. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll get there when we get there. So it doesn't matter. I'll think about it. I could stream it or I could just record it. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week for life lessons. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think all of them being one women beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. All right.